You have complete control.
I really don't have that much control.
A lot of us want to believe that we have more control than we do.
65%, maybe.
If you ask people how much control they have over their financial future, the answers will range from almost none to complete control. Both answers contain part of the truth. Neither tells the entire story. In the last episode, we learned that money is a tool. It can create freedom, security, opportunity, and a better future for the people we love. But owning a tool does not mean controlling every condition in which we have to use it. So we asked, how much control do people actually have over their financial future?
I feel like that's pretty subjective because a lot of us want to believe that we have more control than we do. So we work really hard for this goal that we have, imaginative or whatever it may be. But I think that our perception of keeping up with the Joneses or whatever it may be gives us a lot different of a perspective than what we think, if that makes sense. So I don't know.
I think there's a lot of factors in how much control they actually have. One being inflation is like, especially now, like inflation's through the roof. So that's kind of tough for people to save money on the side when just expenses in general are going up. Cutting back and doing like the basic things to just save as much money probably isn't as plausible as it used to be.
But you can't assure like how much you're gonna have to spend, how much, a budget can help, but we have like real lives, so.
There are financial forces no individual can command. We do not set the prices of food. We do not control inflation. We cannot guarantee that our rent will stay the same, that our car will not break down, or that an emergency will wait until we are prepared for it. Income, opportunity, and hardship are not distributed evenly. Pretending otherwise does not empower people. It ignores reality. Some financial pressure arrives without permission. Some circumstances narrow our options before we ever make a choice. That is real, but it is not the entire truth.
I would say you have complete control if you are in control of your finances. If you're making the decisions, you should have complete control. Just don't make any bad choices. It's easy to make a bad financial decision, that is for sure.
A lot. We've saved and invested, paid off our home by now, still working, both my husband and I, full time.
We still do have a decent amount of control. Like, you shouldn't be eating out every night. You shouldn't be splurging on whatever big thing that's coming up in your life. You should still be saving money, having some sort of financial goals for yourself.
We cannot control every circumstance, but the circumstances do not make every decision for us. We decide whether to plan, to save, to learn, to prepare, whether to spend frivolously or intentionally. We decide whether a raise becomes a larger lifestyle or a stronger future. We decide whether a mistake becomes a pattern or a lesson. Those decisions may not change everything immediately, but repeated long enough, they change direction. Financial control is rarely one dramatic moment. It's usually a series of ordinary decisions that appear insignificant when viewed alone, like saving $10, avoiding a purchase, making one extra debt payment, learning one new skill, having one honest conversation, following a plan for 1 month. Single choices may not transform a life, but a pattern of choices can.
I think a lot of people think they have a bunch of control over it, but I think unless you're paying attention on a daily basis of what's going in and out with your finances and planning around that and planning for your future on a daily basis, where you take time aside to actually do that, or you get a planner to do such a thing for you that you can trust and work with, I don't think a lot of us are paying much attention to it, and myself is guilty of that. And we need to really have people that we can trust in to guide us through how to handle money properly.
I think that every milestone that you have can continue to evolve over time. So while you think you might be in control at this moment, if you make the next whatever, or you purchase the next thing, there's always going to be this unattainable goal. So do you really have that much control? I think it's a yes and no answer. Like, yes, you can probably retire comfortably if you've planned for it, but maybe that goal in your head has evolved over time. And so you may not feel that you have that much control.
You can control how much you're willing to work and then kind of set the, I guess, like factors up with that. So, oh, I'm willing to work this amount for this much.
Control does not mean certainty. You can plan carefully and still face an emergency. You can work hard and still experience a setback. You can make a good decision without receiving an immediate reward. Financial control is not the power to guarantee an outcome. It's the power to improve your position. Preparation cannot prevent every storm, but it can determine whether the storm becomes an inconvenience, a crisis, or a catastrophe. That's why planning matters, why saving matters, why trustworthy guidance matters. These things don't make us invulnerable, but they do give us options. And options are one of the clearest forms of financial power. There are two dangerous ways to think about our financial future. The first says, everything is under my control. That belief turns every hardship into a personal failure and ignores the conditions people are facing. The second says, nothing is under my control. That belief gives away the power we actually possess. The truth stands between them. You are not responsible for every financial circumstance that reaches you, but you are responsible for what you do with the choices that remain.
Preparation.
Budget.
A lot of us have our money in the market.
We've saved and invested.
Just don't make any bad choices.
You shouldn't be eating out every night. You shouldn't be splurging on whatever big thing that's coming up in your life. You should still be saving money, having some sort of financial goals for yourself.
You're paying attention on a daily basis of what's going in and out with your finances and planning around that and planning for your future. We need to really have people that we can trust in to guide us through how to handle money properly.
We do not have complete control over our financial future. The economy matters. Opportunity matters. Inflation matters. Unexpected hardship matters. But our decisions matter too. We control what we pay attention to. We control whether we make a plan. We control whether we prepare for what we can foresee. We control whether we learn from our mistakes. And we control what we do next. That may not be complete control, but it is real power. Our finances carry weight. And within our finances are decisions that have consequences, open new opportunities, and change the direction of our lives. But not every decision carries the same significance to every person. Some remember the risk they took. Others remember the debt they avoided, the investment they made, the sacrifice they accepted, or the moment their responsibility extended beyond themselves. So where do people place the emphasis? When they look back over their financial lives, which choices stand above the rest? This is where we turn next.